done with. But look at what was seen in Edo, and the problem is this side for if this is not addressed, it is going to be such a bad precedence that every governor's council, we will not remove them by ourselves, but we will use suspension to frustrate them.
The question is, can they suspend? Because what I'm seeing with Edo State is that, look, this is 2 months suspension. After 2 months, it will be indefinite suspension.
So what's the fate of
they
the local government chairman now?
They can even tell you that this is suspension, not removal. Abi? Because again, our lawyers have a way of
they said,
and 2 months. So
yes.
after this 2 months suspension, the next thing you will see is that they will say, okay, they are just, and those ones probably running. And what they'll probably do is see those ones running from pillar to post, going to court to challenge this. So it's just that, look, we don't have the political will. We don't have leaders who are going to live above board. We don't have leaders who are going to see governance beyond just party politics. We don't see governance. It's a government of patronage, a government that runs a gated, rascal kind of democracy. Nobody pays attention to anything. Nobody commits to anything. The constitution is seen as a piece of paper that nobody can respect. So far, you can manipulate everything. The judiciary has also become very complicit in this matter. And that's why some of us are questioning whether this democracy is working.
Forward, give me a minute.
Yes.
In reference to the suspension of the Alimosho local government chairman in Lagos, that's around October 2024. The former chairman, the former president rather of the Nigerian Bar Association, that is Mr. Olisa Agbakoba, addressed the press and he faulted the indefinite suspension of the council chairman by the Lagos State House of Assembly. And that decision was taken on the 6th of October 2024, where the Lagos House of Assembly unanimously suspended Mr. Suleiman Jelili, the executive chairman, not caretaker committee chairman, not transition committee chairman.
I think he has apologized and restated it.
Yes, indefinitely over allegations bordering on misconduct, amongst others. Now, let me read what the former president of the Nigerian Bar Association said. He said, I don't understand how resolution will be passed by the State House of Assembly to suspend an elected chairman. The House of Assembly or a governor of the state does not have the power to remove or suspend an elected chairman or vice chairman of a council. It is absolutely unconstitutional and a rascality. That was exactly. He said 774 local governments were created by Section 7 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the chairmen were democratically elected. The 774 council chairmen were elected by the people and not by the politicians or group of people or an institution like the House of Assembly. Okay.
Can you really say that the elections we conducted last, these chairmen were really elected by the people?
Well, they put themselves up for contest. The campaign.
No, I'm not trying to justify what
I understand what you're saying.
The Edo Assembly has done.
It was an election by their standards.
But what we're saying is that, look, it's a complicated situation, and that was why I remember Senator Jibril Barao, when this matter came up then, before the Supreme Court, I said that, look, he's not going to disturb his head over anything if they cannot first sort out the electoral process that brings in this local government chairman. That if the governors are still in charge,
it's a problem.
It's going to be a problem, because what they will be doing is just putting paper over cracks, putting the car before the horse. Because at the end of the day, maybe you don't want caretaker chairman. They will
democratically put our boys.
We'll conduct an election.
You call it democratically. They will do what they need to do, whether they call it election. Look, local government election was being held in Ogun State. The governor was in Ondo State. What does he tell you? You don't understand? On the same Saturday,
it was an
local government elections were being held in Ogun State, and the governor of Ogun State was in Ondo State.
Maybe his presence was highly needed there.
No, as a governor, which one should have been more important to you?
Of course, that of your state precedes any other.
Look, but to tell you that it's done and dusted, even before the they
already know who is going to what's going to happen.
We know these things, but you know the funny thing about our system and our people, and we as Nigerians, we live in denial about it. We look away as if it's not a problem. We see fraud being perpetrated in clear. But we'll tolerate it. We give excuses for it. The only time some people will condemn it is because it happened in Rivers State, because Fuvara did it, whereas other people have done it. Everybody did it. Abia even did it. So you go ZLPTN. And everybody won there.
Even his local government, even the local government of the governor of Abia State, Zenith Labour Party was taking over.
So we are in this quagmire, and when we are talking about real development, if you kill local government the way we've killed it now, how then do we engender organic development from the local government? I did a survey recently with a group of friends under an advocacy group. And what we did was to check the quality of people running our local government in 3 southwest states. If you see the caliber of people that some of these sham elections have produced as local government, you understand that we're in trouble. These are people who practically cannot even process anything. Some of them, you doubt whether they even saw the 4 walls of any school. Some of them cannot even express themselves. Critical thinking, like I said, it was a thorough examination of these individuals. And the results we got from the advocacy group showed that, look, we're going nowhere. Some of them, maybe because, in fact, there was one that was just like a political tug to the governor. So it was just like a compensation.
A compensation office for him.
Like the boys, and okay, what did you do? Go and do a man this local government. The worst of them all, are the councillors.
Oh.
The people we call councillors. But just imagine we have a political system where a retiree, after serving the public service, still feels he has the energy, decides to be a councillor, not because of money, but because I want to serve. Who are these councillors? They are the closest to the people in the elective positions we have in the country, because they are now the boys in the streets. They are the elected officials that are supposed to be in our streets at the ward level. But I remembered when I was still staying in Sᴜᴜ. I think it was under Fᴜʟᴜ, and then there was going to be this local government election. I was staying in the Pᴏʟɪᴛ there, for people who know. And they brought this young man. They say he will be the councillor. I said, we don't know him even in the whole of Sᴜᴜ. And by the time we checked, he said, he's maybe the wife of the Kinikon, and then I brought Kinikon. And the boys in the neighborhood resisted, questioned it that, look, even chairmanship, but councillorship should be somebody they can relate with, somebody they know, that has stayed in the neighborhood, that knows even people in the streets, that understands the challenge. Okay, they brought this guy from nowhere. And when the boys resisted, the political powers that be did what they needed to do, because they know that at the end of the day, people don't really, the votes will not count. The guy was made a councillor. Okay, that was the last time we saw the boy.
Okay. All right.
He's cancelling in another word.
That was the last time we saw him. So this is what obtains everywhere. You have maybe your nephew or your son-in-law somewhere. He's jobless. He has no job because there's a party leader that knows the governor. Show I the councillor. They just give him a place, whether the people like it or not, because they know that the vote of the people does not count. And the guy does not even know the place. He doesn't know anybody. He doesn't understand the environment. And so he knows that he's not even loyal to anybody there, because he knows how he came in. Same for me. So when we did that review, I just lost hope. The hope I lost was that even if we're able to guarantee direct payment of money to these guys, are these the guys we're going to give money to? Let us even say we are able to now implement that Supreme Court judgment to pay money directly to them. These are not the people's people.
But Said Fuad,
you understand?
I'm sorry for cutting you.
Really not the people's
I'm
people.
sorry for cutting you, Said Fuad.
So even if the money goes directly to them, we are still giving it to people who did not get the proper mandate of the people. So they are not going to be really loyal to the people, because they didn't get the mandate of the people. They got the mandate of the political establishment that put them there.
So the money is still directly going back to
that's the problem.
Especially if the governors are still choosing the leadership of the state independent electoral commission.
That's the check.
I want to ask this question, Said Fuad, because it's a huge problem you just pointed out here now. But we've seen situations where a lot of people are not interested in politics. They are not interested in any political office. They are not interested in taking up any responsibility.
It's too dirty for them to,
So how do we correct this issue? Because you just mentioned something right now, and we are not. The local government election is coming up in Lagos State. Already In Ikorodu, I've been seeing flyers everywhere. He's just flying everywhere, left, right, left, and center.
And have you noticed that the battle is within the party?
It's
APC?
Within the party. APC.
The opposition.
I've not seen any coming out.
Because
but
they know
now
that
we have people. You mentioned retirees who know the people who are supposed to come out and do, and they are not coming out.
They
so
won't.
what exactly is the problem then?
Now they won't come out, and I'll tell you why they will not come out. Number one, it has to be, who do you know? Who knows who that will take you to a particular person that will now take you to another person. So it's a gated kind of democracy. And if you cannot jump through the gate or get somebody to help you open the gate or maybe put back you to enter, you can't go in.
Okay.
You know, we are having this argument about Kemi Badenoch, and she was saying this about, and I told a few friends that look at a Kemi of Nigerian origin, young person of color. And because of a proper democratic system, the oldest political party in the world, she was able to rise through the rank and file to become the leader of the Conservative Party. I'm sure her parents don't know anybody. I'm sure her parents don't know any leader of the Conservative Party. She was able to only prove her mettle, show her class, show her understanding, speak to the reality of the party, and look at where she has gotten to. People like Kemi Badenoch in Nigerian politics who struggle to be a councillor.
Because she doesn't know anybody.
Because she doesn't know anybody.
She doesn't even know somebody who knows somebody who can somebody that knows somebody.
So like I told you, they brought the guy, we didn't know him. And there was something we could do. But look at what she has become, because it's a structure that allows you to thrive.
Irrespective of where you're coming from.
So far you can prove that you've got what it takes. Well, here, probably she'll be struggling to be a PA or SA to one politician, or maybe I used to have a friend, very brilliant lawyer, brilliant guy, and he tried his hands in politics, did everything to become a councillor. At some point, he wanted to become a chairman. At the end of the day, you know what he settled for? He was now like the legal advisor to one state assembly member.
I've seen a couple of them like that now.
A lawyer, he was 광. And what was he doing? Because the guy that was state assembly member could not even present anything, no resolution, no motion, he can't do anything. So the guy will be the one to write everything for him. If I will even prep him, sorry, this is what this one means. So he was basically helping the guy to do his job at the back end, and he was being paid peanut. He ordinarily deserves to be on that seat that the other guy was occupying. But because of how heavily we monetize the electoral process, number two, if you don't know, number two is that, look, most of these guys say are not coming. I don't have the money. Where's the money going to come from? So they look at the system and just stay away. I don't have the money, because you've got to get some deep pockets. If you don't have the money, somebody has to be there to finance you. We've seen people who even borrow money
to run elections.
Take
loans. Sell properties
to run elections. Because
so when you get in there, is that not going to be your first
So and for the guy who doesn't want to go into that murky waters of bribing people, paying for this and look, you need to go sit down to listen to what politicians do when they have all their meetings. You understand what I'm saying? We've tried to even get close to politics, and you are taken aback by what you see. All those ward meetings, all those kinikon meetings. You should go and listen to some of the things. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes when you now see politicians who talk to us as if we don't know what we are saying, I just laugh. As a young boy, I was practically going from town to town with the late Funshaw Williams when he was trying to become governor of Lagos State. And I say going town to town, word for word. So it's not as if we just come and become journalists. We don't know what we are saying.
Now, why he be through little boys?
You understand? So we know these things. There was a day somewhere in Badagry while we were trying to assess one local community at night. So Jahan dealt with us.
Ijalo?
So it's not that we just, because we are now on radio, we just talk. We have also seen it all at local level, at some level. And God bless the soul of the late Funshaw Williams, the real Omoluabi of Lagos.
So a lot of persons keep saying.
So what we are saying is that there are good people. There are people who are even ready to sacrifice. I know Nigerians who even take some of these positions without any pay. Just service to the people. They are ready to do it for. I'm sure there are well-meaning Nigerians who don't mind to become a local government chairman and say, don't pay me. I just want to do it for my people. But what are the progress? What do we have? Somebody called us from Benue State when they say his own local government doesn't have gates. The place is the gate that there's no gate. The
free entry and free exits.
If the local government does not have gates, no gates. And that's supposed to be the government that is closest to the people.
To the people.
And what have we also done? Some of their responsibilities, we've hijacked it.
That's exactly where I'm going.
Everything has been hijacked by the governors.
Sign for it.
Yes.
Issues like taxes, revenues at the markets, community,
their job,
health centers,
sanitary
issues. That's
cemetery,
not to the point of constructing balls.
Those are the duties of the local government chairman. But you will
advertisements.
You see governors coming to commission market in the local government.
Market, even the car parks.
The car parks, all of those things are supposed to be revenue point for the local government chairman. But so I think for me, until we know where the problem is coming from, which I think part of it, I remember when I was at the INEC 2 days workshop, and one of the questions we asked was that why is it difficult for INEC to take over? Take over the conduct of local government election. And the leadership of INEC said, you want to kill us? We're understaffed. We have less than 15,000 staff of INEC functioning across the 36 states and the FCT. That's why during the election,
we have to review our constitution.
We have to use over 1 million ad hoc staff to augment what we're doing. And those ad hoc staff include NURTW. Imagine those people driving the sensitive and the non-sensitive materials of an election in a democratic state. These are the issues. It's very simple. Okay, we cannot remove them. We'll give them autonomy. But I'm the leader of the party at the state as a governor. So I decide who gets the ticket and the nomination. I decide who wins the primaries. I decide who becomes the local government chairman. So even if their money goes to them, it's an issue of collect alert in the afternoon and say, His Excellency, sir, I've collected 40 billion.
What do I do with it?
Oh yeah, transfer 30 billion to my account. Send 2 billion for security votes. Send 1 billion for the salary of the people cleaning the streets. Send this one. And before you know what's happening, 800 million is left with the local government chairman. And what would he do with that, Victor?
Okay, I mean those people can. Sorry, Victor, the people in the Ikorodu campaign. Have you not seen that it's within the APC?
Yes.
The battle is because they know that once you get that ticket,
you are the
you are home and dry. You will back be.
They conducted local government election in Obafemi Owode local government where I stay, and I did not see a single poster of the APC candidate.
As I speak, I am yet to see.
It was on the eve of the election, and I saw a banner, re-elect so and so. I said, oh, so this person was, is that not gender?
It's not as if there's a situation of, maybe.
That's gender in Rivers. I think on the invitation of His Excellency Governor Fubara.
We can't watch anything on TV again. It's Rivers.
I even like the competition going on between Fubara and Wike. Side forward. If Fubara finishes commissioning project in Rivers, the next slide we see on national TV is Wike also commissioning.
You didn't listen to what Secondus was saying yesterday to Wike. That you didn't fall from heaven. We made you.
Yes, we made you.
So it's big, really, in Rivers State.
And I'm sure Wike will still respond.
Rivers politics will be interesting. Close to 2027.
It's going to be very interesting.
Because what I've seen practically now, Okoyemi, is that look, those guys that Wike shoved aside, the political leaders of Rivers State,
gang up is getting
they are
larger.
now the ones who have now come out now, former senators, former House of Reps members, party leaders of the PDP that never saw face to face with Wike, are now the strength, the friends, and the political leaders of the Fubara government in Rivers.
No, it's a case of the enemy to my enemy is my friend.
The enemy of my friend is my enemy. So it's going to be interesting. But again, just the kind of politics we see, and our friends in the media are making a lot of money from some of these things. This commissioning, infrastructure development, road projects, and I think what Fubara is doing is basically to show that look, there was nothing special that Wike was doing. That despite all the fight, I'm still able projects almost every day. As he's inaugurating any of the governors that have been elected in the last 18 or 9 months of this present democratic experiment that have been able to commission what Fubara is doing.
Nobody.
Unless they are not putting it on TV.
Nobody.
But for him to have been, because almost in the last 2 weeks, he's been consistently on TV.
Steady.
Commissioning projects. Okay, this is not 2 years of this administration.
He even said he just got settled by February.
In February.
The first 8 months he couldn't do anything.
So if he had all of those battles and he was still able to put himself together to achieve what we are seeing, even if it's just roads, really, there was something about the guy. Maybe not because he's not so vocal, he doesn't talk too much. Because again, there are people who say, "Oh, he doesn't understand politics." Maybe he understands politics. So he just has a different idea of how to play politics.
The best way to shut
something out of your mouth.
The best way to shut your doubters is show walk-ins. And I think that is what Fubara is doing. He's just showing walk. Some of those routes.
What's the PDP governorship candidate side for? If you are streaming, look at side for. The PDP governorship candidates in the governorship election.
He got 70,000 votes.
Well, they said it was the Labour Party candidate that took their vote.
But he got 70,000 votes.
Well, we know. I mean, he's still in the political space. He's a guest to the River State governor, Governor Fubara, inaugurating the Kalaimiaba and Ekpelema Road. I remember when Bridges when he inaugurated and commissioned some projects in Wike's local government, and he said something. That was last week. He said if he was wicked, he would have abandoned this project. Then the guest he invited said that now we have a governor that knows how to speak to the people. He doesn't speak rudely. He doesn't speak harshly to the people. I said, we should continue to throw shade.
It'll be interesting to see what comes out.
Was that not how we also?
Because again, I think he has a period of respite now. I mean, the appeal court has nullified the earlier judgment of the High Court Federal High Court to withhold allocations to River. So
I'm sure the allocation is coming up.
Yes, so again, what I'm saying is, look, no matter how you see it, it's just unfortunate that instead of talking about issues now, we are discussing individuals. We are discussing their dirty politics. We are discussing their disagreements, not on the basis of governance, but on the basis of Godfather-Godson relationship, side politics, the gated democracy we've been trying to condemn, where institutions have been, dropped to the point where it's now about strong people and not strong institutions. But again, it's the story of Nigeria who will continue to do our own job, to speak the truth, to set the agenda, and continue to advocate for good government.
Victor, let's slide into the second story. But before then, I just picked this online now. Confirmed debt servicing would go up 15.8 trillion of the 2025 appropriation bill.
Again, the devil is in the detail.
Not 13 anymore.
No, that's deficit.
No, deficit of the budget is 13.
This debt
servicing. We're not paying back the debt yet. The loans, we're just servicing our gbese. The interest that accrues on the gbese is 15.8 trillion side forward, and the budget itself is about 48 million. So that means we have almost about 37% or 38% of the budget
now we're going to debt servicing.
Is it not better than when we had almost 80% of our budget going into debt servicing side for?
Well, it depends on the way you look at it.
We're moving
back small. It depends on the way you look at it.
Interesting times. Okay, we are also streaming live on Facebook. I strongly believe that the network is strong enough to carry us through. So if you're there, don't forget to drop your comments in each of the stories or any of the stories that we've been talking about that is of interest to you. Interestingly, I was saying that even Wike during his time also reminded Rotimi Amechi, the then governor, that look, I constructed your mother's road for you. So you didn't do it. I've done it for you too. Now Fubara is saying
Fubara has inaugurated a psychiatric home project in Wike's local government. So I like it. As long as it bring development. Even if
it's the people that will enjoy it at the end of the day.
Fight. It's beautiful to see.
That's it.
If Wike is commissioning projects in Abuja, and Fubara is commissioning
if they are using projects to fight themselves,
100%. They should not reconcile.
At least that will show that the money of the people is working for them. It's not going into private pockets.
As long as there's no
but if you not now start to disturb people, put boys out and talks. If it's about using projects to do banter, project banter.
Why do you want to go there?
Why would Fubara inaugurate psychiatric home as a project in Wike's local government?
He said it. I was going to build one
psychiatric home.
He said it. He said I was going to build one.
Of all the places he could have built a psychiatric home,
I don't know. But if I'm going to go by what he said some months ago, that look, his enemies are going to run ragged.
So he's going
and they'll be needing that facility, and so he's going to build it. So, but I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why he built it there.
But on the more serious, so they need search.
Cannot work.
I don't know.
They need search in the south because if you see what people are doing and what people are taking, especially from the south side, not from Akwai State.
Okay, but not politicians.
Not politicians. Talking about the people now, the common man. If you see what people are taking inside, what you will run.
So
it has to be Wike's local government.
I'm not going there with you.
At least in Rivers State.
I'm not going there with you.
At least it's owned by Rivers people. At least in Rivers State.
All right, let's go to Osun State. Let's go to Osun State. We have other stories, and we're quickly going to touch them. It's just some few minutes past 2 p.m. Okay, 16 past 2. Wow, time has really gone. Let's just look at it quickly. Ademola Adeleke, the governor of Osun State, said he's seeking pardon for one Segun Olowokere, who was sentenced to death by hanging for allegedly stealing. I posted this on my status. I've been getting funny remarks from people for stealing fowl 10 years ago, fowl and eggs. But as it stands, it appears the young man is going to be getting pardon from the governor. Now, let's juxtapose this to another story that came up recently. A 32-year-old man, as it is right now, has been jailed for 30 months for stealing 9.8 million naira worth of property. And he's getting 30 months, which is 2 years and 6 months in jail. And that is coming from a Lagos State Magistrate Court sitting in Ibutemeta on Tuesday, convicted and sentenced a 32-year-old man, Jibril Idain, to 2 years and 6 months imprisonment for stealing property valued at 9.8 million naira. For his own case, there were 4 counts charged against him. 1 and 4 were taken off or were struck out. 2 and 3 were retained, and he got 2 years for the count 2 of stealing, and then count 3, which is still buying properties or taking stolen property. He got 6 months for that. But juxtapose that to what happened in 2024, where a young man, Segun, he was 17 at that period, with his accomplice, a friend of his. They got death by hanging, according to the story, and that has made people to be asking questions. How do we try to understand the judicial system and the judgment that is being passed out, looking at the severity of both crimes? One, by all ramification, is heavier than the other.
Senator, let me chip this in before you
Beautiful.
respond.
Yeah, all right.
The case in context, the guy was not just sentenced. He's been sentenced in 2010 for allegedly stealing a chicken and eggs
from a
poultry. He was sentenced to death by hanging in 2010. So the news eventually came out when somebody ran that interview. A Nigerian actress, Biola Adebayo, where the man's parents, in a podcast, maintained that their son Olowokere was wrongfully accused. He said that the DPO then demanded 30,000, but he was able to raise only 20,000. Then they couldn't get him. So the sentence did not just happen. The sentence had happened 10 years ago.
True.
For stealing a chicken and eggs, he was sentenced to death
by hanging.
Side forward.
Okay, I mean, the heart of man is desperately wicked.
We can't comprehend it.
And we can continue to talk about the laws, the problems we have in our constitution, what the law says about burglary and armed robbery. In the past, armed robbers were taken to firing squad. That was the law, military. Even if you go to Kere, but a lot of the states have expunged that part of their laws. You can't, maximum life sentence with armed robbery and some of the interpretations that come with it. But the law also has the aspects of discretion when it comes to the judicial officers handling the matter. In fact, the issue of discretion even starts with the police at the point of arrest. There are a lot of things you consider, and we see it a lot of times, where you look at the situation and say, okay, what could have led to this? So sometimes you see a lot of the cases ending even at the police station. When you look at the scene, the law allows you to even apply discretion at that level to sort some case. It's not every case that has to go to the courts. For example, any young man age 17 that breaks into a poultry to steal fowl and egg. Okay, we are not trying to encourage theft. You don't understand. Is a factor of maybe the person is. You understand? But if we look at the punishment and the offense, it just shows, and it's not even about what had happened in court. It's about the fact that a particular DPO demanded for money, allegedly, and because the parents would not pay, that same DPO who probably is going to be a parent to who is it, well, I'm sure has children, saw through a process where the boy was now convicted.
Side forward. Let me read a part of it. Hold your thought. You still continue. Hold your thought. We'll just wrap up this particular conversation. We just wanted to bring it up. He said, according to Olanrewaju's father, he said, we're here to beg Nigerians to help us. In 2010, I was at the shop where I was renting out cassettes, and about 11 a.m., some policemen came around. We later found out that some students from Shegun School were in their vehicles, that's the police vehicle, and they said that they were arrested because of the theft of a chicken and eggs. School children.
Some of us knew what we did in school. Enter somebody's compound, go carry mango.
Truth be told, Shegun does not eat chicken because I trained broilers. He refused to run away, telling us that he didn't do anything and he didn't know anything about the theft of the chicken. Then they came around 9 p.m. in the night and he was eventually arrested. It was when I visited the station that I knew who owned the chicken and the eggs. He was just like a brother to me. That's the father of the victim talking now. I was told by the DPO in charge to bring 30,000 so my son could be released. But after running around, I could raise only 20,000 and he refused to collect. Fọláṣadé Olówókéré, the mother of the victim, said her son, who was 17 as at that time, has now spent over 14 years in prison since he was sentenced. However, in a statement on Tuesday, the governor instructed the state attorney general and the commissioner for justice to investigate the case and begin the process of granting the young man a pardon. He said, as the governor, he said, I have received the report of a case of a young man who reportedly sentenced to death by hanging in Osun State for stealing a fowl. Side forward. I'm happy that the governor has stepped into this, and this is one thing that will shock us, that a lot of the decongestion that we're talking about in our correctional facilities don't even necessarily have to go back to court for retrials.
Okay, even though I posted this on my status, a lawyer reached out to me immediately and sent this to me. She said, look, I still have someone languishing in prison till today because he resisted arrest during NSAS issue. Police lumped up charges against him. He's stealing as we speak. And then somebody had also approached me again, sent a message to me and said, look, the same period of NSAS, I still have a friend. I don't know whether they released him now. Dropped up charges.
NSAS was a few years ago.
Yes.
A friend of mine does this outreach for his birthday every year. So we went to one of the medium prisons in Ogun State recently. That was immediately after COVID. And their cases were theft that should go for a fine, and it's a bailable offense. People have been there awaiting trial for 13 years for a crime that should get you at the most 6 months jail term. Awaiting trial for 13 years, Victor.
You see,
so if we talk about reforms within the Nigerian correctional, we're not just talking about building
the entire justice system.
We're talking about a total overhauling of the judicial system. Some people they've been granted bail, but they could not meet up the bail conditions, and they've been in those walls for 15, 13 years. There was a man, I'm sorry, for 2 Fridays ago, I had to stand in for Voices from the Top with Daniel.
Listen to the show.
There was a man that was jailed 20 years, but was pardoned after 14 years by the Lagos State governor. He was just pardoned in July this year. He was live in the studio with us. And he told us, I said, if you know what is going on in the 4 walls of those
correctional centers,
you will weep. There are a lot of people there, they've been sodomized. A lot of people there have turned to homosexuals.
Because of the environment.
People that came in for just pickpocketing
have become something because of the environment.
The prison is supposed to reform you, not to harden you. Okay. So people are in prison, they're already strategizing that when I come out, You arrested me for stealing a tie as a organizer. I will come back as an armed robber.
So where's the correctionality
if this boy is eventually released,
14 years side for her.
It will take a lot of work to debrief his mind. It will take a lot of work to reform his mind. It will take a lot of work to bring him back to normalcy. Because he'll keep remembering that, look, let us even say he stole the fowl. Even though the arguments are, look, maybe school children did something and they approached a police officer who,
the fact that the father even said he knows the owner of the chicken and the eggs.
Even if he doesn't know him. And like a 17-year-old, and then take him before a magistrate. Is it that even the magistrates
did not read the case?
They just...
And you sentence him to death by hanging. Even
you see, and then people go, discretion. We've seen judgments that we say, this is not supposed to, because they use their discretion. We've seen judges who give the options of fine out of discretion on cases that we thought should come with more severe punishments.
It's just a slap in the wrist.
And we know that, look, this is just arrangement, slap in the wrist. But when you do this, that is why when you talk about patriotism, these are the little things that...
It question the essence of...
Look, this thing is trending on social media. What does it tell our young people out there about the situation of the country, about the justice system? That, this can also happen to me. And then nobody's going to speak for me. God knows what the parents have gone through,
And it was their only son.
14 years.
14 years.
Even if they have 1,000
the
sons.
fact that they even know that their child is on death row. It's not that he just lost here.
It's not like these are
waiting
trial
or maybe life sentence. Death. So he wakes up every day.
Side forward. What if you had a governor that has
signed it off without checking properly,
death sentence without having to order for a review of the case?
How did even the review come up? That's the question.
On the podcast.
Even for the podcast.
So what if a governor? The last governor that signed death warrants in this country was now the senator
Adams
Oshiomhole in Edo. There are a lot of people, over 1,000 been hanged. What would have happened to him?
No, now, and then you now put this in contrast. Pitch this against our pen robbers. Pitch this against our
democratically elected pen robbers.
Pen robbers. Who stroll into our courts. Remember, after all said and done, after going back and forth, all the efforts to hold our political leaders accountable, the courts were successfully only able to jail 2 former governors.
And those ones
Reverend
also...
Jolly Nyame and Joshua Dari.
And those ones
and in about just 2 years,
they got pardoned. And they were released received.
If you tell me that story as a young Nigerian, that a 17-year-old boy stole fowl and egg, and our justice system sent him to death by hanging.
I like the way Said Fuad is emphasizing.
And then the same justice system sent robbers, pen robbers, who stole their states dry in billions. God knows how much billions.
They say it's plea bargain.
So when you have a system like that, do you blame these young ones? And before they say you are not patriotic now, where would the patriotism come from in things like this? So it's unfortunate, really, the things we see. Like I said, unfortunately for people who hold different positions, we are not committed to anything. What I've seen with this boy's case is just what? Pure wickedness. From every layer of the justice officers, from the police down to the person that sentenced that boy, it is just wickedness back to back. And that's what we are. That's why I said the heart of man is desperately wicked. Because where is the point and the place of discretion in matters like this? Some school students stole some. Oríṣiríṣi pattern students.
We're still making joke about this before we came on their side for. And we've done all of these things.
Look, maybe in those days they'll take you back to school, they flog the hell out of you, and then they say maybe some punishment.
I'm sure you already took the chicken away and the eggs and punish him. Take him to remand, even as a 17-year-old. Take him to. Only God knows how long the case took before he was able to secure judgment.
Honestly, I'll give you this. There's something in Oyo State. I've been trying to follow up with the case where he said that the governor has also locked some people up. Now, people are complaining about the violations of human rights of, I think they are drivers or mechanics or something.
The absolute power of the
I
governors.
think who were questioning his attempt to take over their land or something. I think they protested or questioned why. And without trial, what we are hearing is that, look, they've been locked up in Agodi prison or something. That case is raging in it, but I'm trying to get some of our friends to really give us the details of that, but the news have been taking it. The same thing is what we talked about the Pᴏʟɪᴛᴛᴇ case. Nobody is saying that people should defame people and not be brought to justice. But the processes, when it is seen that, look, you are using the justice system to just punish people.
Daily Pᴏʟɪᴛᴛᴇ was handcuffed.
Yahya Bello strode in.
Yahya Bello was hailed. People were doing the
kaftan. Did you see how stark the kaftan was? The white.
Inside the EFC office, people were hailing white
even in the court.
Even in court,
the lawyers, it was like a jamboree.
The lawyers of EFCC were going to shake Yahya Bello.
It was like a jamboree.
A taxpayer, somebody that has allegedly stolen taxpayers' money, running into almost 100 billion, was given a bail after escaping and hiding and making a mess of an anti-graft agency.
And you know what makes all of this more, problematic and terrible? I've always said it. Yes, we are educated, but are we civilized? Are we a civilized people? I used to watch this judge on social media. I think he's an American judge that handles all some of these small cases. Yeah. And you see him most times apply those discretion. It looks like,
okay, traffic law, okay, just set you pay the fine, you can't afford to break it into
pieces. They even pay for you and you go.
They just
sometimes court even pays your fine.
Again, to reform the minds of the people that the justice system really is not just for the poor, for the rich, sorry. It's also for the poor and all of that. But look at what we have. We are still in the era of Mafolopa Mwe.
Because people have ease of access. You see landlord and tenant fighting. Landlord will call police.
The police comes, they lock you up.
They pick you up and they tell you that until the person that orders us to lock you up releases you.
Before we open the phone, before they open the phone lines, look at what is happening to the leaders of the Okwama community in Delta State. That's also a point of conversation.
Unlawful killings going on unreported.
Yes, 17 of our soldiers were killed in the most despicable manner. We've condemned it. We've called for justice. But should the justice system not be process-driven to the point where these leaders are locked in military custody and the reports are coming out without any trial that they are dying one after the other? Nobody is saying anything. Is that the country we want to continue to run? Later now, when Amnesty International something issues a report on us, we'll start to debunk it. We're saying that, look, yes, justice must be served. But there are processes to these things as a civilized people. Now those people have been locked up in those places and the reports are now filtering in that, look, these leaders are dying one after the other. And there are people that will come and justify that now.
And the funny thing that some of these leaders...
So are we saying that they can't be taken to court, they can't be made to face the music, be prosecuted properly?
Rather than just abandoning...
And then the reports are coming out that, look, out of torture, they are one after the other, they are dying. Is that not extrajudicial killing going on? And we gloss over it to say it doesn't matter. You cannot
use illegality to legalize illegality.
So those are
killings happen. If you arrested, if you condemned, you don't have to.
The accumulation of these things are worse when it comes to our image. Makes it more.
Now, whatever it is that Kemi
saying,
Davido is saying.
Kemi Davido, you want to kill yourself, bang your head on the road.
Somebody stole chicken and eggs.
The other man is only 100 billion.
He's working freely.
People are locked up. People are without trial. And you think the international community don't know these things? It's Kemi that is telling them. They play.
Side forward would open the phone lines. It's been buzzing. 0913-600-0410.
Comments on Facebook that we should pick their calls.
In case you're just joining us, it is Midweek Politics 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday. Well, we're not analyzing this one. We're just taking the story straight up. According to the report by the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, about 2.2 trillion has been reportedly paid as ransom in the last 12 months, and the northwestern part of the country is leading with 1.2
half of the payment came
trillion.
from.
That's half of the payment came from that place. The report by the MBS has revealed that about 2.2 trillion was received by kidnappers as ransom within the last 1 year. The survey, which produced estimates at national and zonal level covering both urban and rural areas for the 1 month period of May 2023 to April 2024 also disclosed that abductions are more prevalent in rural areas than in urban areas. So as it is now, the report noted that the average amount paid as ransom was 2.7 million per incident. The Northwest reported the highest ransom paid, totaling about 1.2 trillion, while the Southeast recorded at least 85.4 billion. 65% of the household that experienced kidnappings paid ransom side forward. Overall, the estimated amount paid as ransom for kidnapping during the reference period here was actually May 2023 to April 2024 is 2,335,954,000 paid for ransom.
So all the reports of we rescued them.
Free. It was a mutual agreement.
No, we rescued them.
The forces went to rescue them. We secured 2.2 trillion.
You know, we've always been questioning whether it was a rescue or it was a release after ransom was paid.
And I mean, I'm sorry for these are the ones that were properly reported. A
lot of people don't even report it.
Just go unreported. 0913-600-0410. It's time for you to join the conversation. Also go on facebook.com to join us and drop your comment. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Midweek Politics.
Good afternoon, Ope. Ołakunlé here from.
Oh, good to have you.
Thank you. You guys have spoken eloquently and really touched the whole point. Let me quickly talk about what happened in Osun State. I've gone to read about it, and it has a long list of problems, from police to the judiciary to how it's a whole lot. Because while reading through it, what I found out was, and as at 2014 was when this happened or thereabout during Aʀᴄಘɪબ્ᴏ strike, there's a difference between stealing and robbery and conspiracy. And this boy was held for robbery. Main reason was that, unfortunately, the main reason for that was that they said they held equipment that could cause death, which ranged from probably guns, knives, and all of that. And that is what tilts this case from what should normally be a misdemeanor, going to steal fowl and all of that, that pushed it to being robbery and conspiracy. So under stealing, they gave him 3 years. Under conspiracy and robbery, they gave him death and 10 years. And I can remember the judge explicitly wrote it under that the governor should commute this case, because basically she knows she has no power within her, within the law to do that. So I expected that since 2014, if they had committed all this out, this boy would have been out. But we left it untouched and allowed it to grow to this position. And my question would always be that even if we write laws that are somewhat draconian and all of that, there should be ways we can find things to do such that we ensure that these things do not happen. Because we might be brewing a bigger problem when we leave these people to stay in those positions. So reforms are still the word, and we have a whole lot to reform.
Thank you.
You know. And as quickly as regards the budget, 14 trillion deficit, we still continue to have the same problem of revenue. I hope that as time goes by, we'll be able to fix it with a few things that government is doing in oil and gas and all of that. Thank you very much, and God bless.
Thank you very much. Keep the calls coming in.
I think Olákunlé touched a very important part of this conversation. They were also charged for robbery, and it has to be armed robbery, because they now said they brought in weapons that could lead to death. Robbery to steal fowl and egg. You know, okay, there are things we don't say on radio.
Please, let's try and make our contribution very brief so that we can pick other calls as well. Hello, Mr. Laiwola.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Oh, I'd appreciate if you can try and call back. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Mr. Fuad, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I play so I dey kill you now this afternoon. Honestly, Mr. Fuad has said a lot, but I want to contribute on this justice system. People castigating Kenny Davido should have a rethink. Imagine a boy who stole a fowl, take away steal fowl, egg, the for life imprisonment.
Hello. We're struggling to hear you, and I appreciate if you can call back. Mr. Tony from Isolo says this project that the governor is commissioning in Rivers State weekly or monthly must have a special construction company in a swampy environment for some roads that contractors in Lagos are taking average of 2 years minimum. Are you sure this commissioning project is not political, and all of you are enthusiastically praising and celebrating
it's
information that is expected to be scrutinized?
It's on TV, and we have journalists there.
From Solo. We have friends that are covering and confirming this project.
And it's on TV.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
My name is Malam Salau.
Yes. Malam Salau, please, you have 1 minute to do this.
No, I have. Yeah, I don't need to contribute. I made an observation. This program is supposed to be 2 hours, 120 minutes, right? Good. And you people spoke for almost 100 minutes and give 20 minutes for listeners to contribute. And at the end of the question, how can someone make a call? Can make your point clear. And the purpose of this program is to pass information for the listener. So you guys should work on that. So that, your fans will now be contributing.
Okay. Thank you, Malam Salah. But I'm very sure that I'm not certain if you have more people that get more talk time on this show as Malam Salah does. Malam Salah can talk for 5 minutes uninterrupted in his contribution. I understand your position. We'll work on that. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Yes. I want to speak about the foul boy. In when you make a case, when somebody goes to break a house and is having some instruments of house breaking, and he breaks the house, and somebody is inside the house, and he does anything, that matter can become a murder. Because if that person resists, there will be a fight. And that person, with that instrument he has at hand, he can use to wound somebody or to kill somebody. So in the same way that he wants to steal fowl, his intention is going to steal fowl. But somebody is there in that place when he wants to steal the fowl. And then there was a problem. That problem becomes a fight. And that fight, that is where the murder or the attempted murder, whatever comes to play. So in every case, there's a tendency of civil and criminal. There's a tendency of over and under. So over is that he wants to steal, but that stealing will become murder. That is over. He wants to steal, and he's attempting to steal, and he don't even steal at all. He's under. He goes, maybe he run away, they pursue me, run away. That's how cases are. That's how they are.
So guys, stealing is stealing. Murder is murder.
Thank you very much. Murder
is murder.
It's interesting the perspective that some of this conversation is taking this afternoon. But let's talk to you for real quick. You're welcome.
Yeah, don't do my call.
No. It's the network.
Fuad, welcome back.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
I hope that you rest very well.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Straight to the point. The Shakatri that the governor of Rivers State built in Wike location is the right thing to do. At least Wike also has something in the back of his mind that at least Uba was able to do something in his own senatorial district. Also good. And the issue of maybe they are presented the budget to that.
Yes.
Looking at the budget, it's not for Nigeria budget. It's just within their so, although I didn't follow the budget, because I know that at the end of the day, it will bring any meaningful thing to Nigeria people.
Okay, thank you very much, Ufoma. We'll have to stop the calls for now. Quickly read some messages, and Victor would also go on Facebook to take some of the messages that we have. This is Benjamin from Shogun, and it says, "Good afternoon, guys. God bless you all for the good work you're doing. I don't know why people are so excited about the budget presentation of the president. The 2024 budget, what came out of it? Nothing but suffering and pain. The government always look for words and tags it to budget and campaigns. Words like renewed hope. Now the budget of time of suffering are over. With the budget, reduce the price of pump price that brought us pain, hunger, and suffering. We're today as a nation. If not, forget whatever assurance that the president is giving from the comfort zone. If President Tinubu is ready to help Nigerians, he should reduce the pump price of petrol to 500 naira per liter." Okay. Thank you very much. Anytime Side Forward comes online, I see Wednesday as an educative lecture. The judiciary and its machinery is in an obvious mess. When Farotimi talked about it, someone among you there said he's talking like a farmer. So when we face these guys with the evidence thrown on their faces, they will not stop. Okay. Thank you very much for that message. This one says, "Good day, guys. It's obvious that democracy is not working in Nigeria. What do you expect when the political jobbers are taking over the system? Nigeria is in a mess, and we can only get it right when we have leaders that are committed to nation building. Simple." Lastly, my music. Okay. You can send us a personal message about that. Chike from Akute says, "I did not hear you well. Did you say the suspension of 18 local government chairmen? Please, who did this to us? How is this constitutional? That is why some of us theorizes that the beginning looks like a..." Okay. Chike also said that there was no election in Akute. Okay.
That's a good thing.
Thank you. Kaude from Ikotun says, okay, he quoted and he gave us the reason for the sentencing of the boy. He said it's quite unfortunate event in the case of the boy from Osun State with a death sentence on the case of stealing chicken. This is more or less a technical and morality. However, thank God the current governor has waded into the matter.
Very commendable.
With prerogative solution. Morally, all the people involved from the preliminary hearing on the case should be held responsible for this shameful act. Okay. The messages are pouring in. Victor, quickly stop on Facebook and read some of the messages we have here.
Let me quickly take this one from Sunday Noah. Sunday Noah says someone should tell Edo State governor that he is progressing in error. Mr. Monday has no constitutional power to suspend or sack any elected local government chairman or councillor. This will amount to, well, I wonder. He said this will amount to tyranny and oppression. The federal government should call Edo governor to order. It's a bad precedent. Thank you very much, Sunday Noah. This other one here is coming from Lanre Olakomi. It says if Governor Fubara is doing well in terms of project execution in Rivers, the trio of Mr. Okpe, Mr. Fuad, and my good friend need to come to Ogun State, Ogun West Senatorial District in general, and Ilaro, is it Ilaro? Yes, Ilaro, yes, in particular, and have first-hand information about the wonderful projects Senator Adiola Olamilekon, all right, Solomon, aka Yayi, has facilitated and still facilitating
as a senator.
High-ranking
senator.
In fact,
Side for I know where I'm going to.
He spoke highly of it. Kabiru Adigbero says, "Good afternoon to all of you in the studio. God bless you for the good job you are doing. Let us be optimistic about the 2025 budget. The president said our days of lamentation is over. Nigerians need good life to live. God bless my country, Nigeria." And I'll take this one lastly from Patrick Obiazo. And he says here that is it not ironic that the president, who is claimed to be a Democrat and who delivered Edo State to the APC, is watching the anti-democratic shenanigans by the man that they planted there? On the budget, I was hoping that it will provide immediate Christmas rice and chicken for Nigerians, because the usual promise is not different from the one usually given by the okay, all right, so by the tortoise to his in-laws Now, those who knows the antecedents and antics of the tortoise will understand what I mean. That's from Patrick Obiazo.
Okay, 0913-600-0410. There's still more messages on Facebook, but we're really pressed for time. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Hello, Mr. Okoyemi.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Samuel calling from Ikeja.
Good to have you join us.
Okoyemi, in fact, it's unfortunate. We are talking about the budget presentation. The question we should be asking ourselves, what are we benefiting from all this budgeting that we are talking about every year? Now, do you know that presently a sachet of water now in Nigeria is 50 naira per one, and we are talking about budget? I think we should be serious for once in this country. Look at the judiciary that we are talking about. You understand? What is stopping us, even the Senate or House of Reps? I think the only solution to this is they should present a law, a capital punishment for any politician that stole our money. That is where I would take the fight against corruption serious in this country. If we can convict people, maybe based on maybe stealing an egg or chicken, how many politicians have stolen our money that we have sentenced to prison if we are really serious? So sometimes when I listen to all these issues, it's just like we are never ready. We are not ready yet.
Thank you. Thank you very much. 0913-600-0410. Keep it coming. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Mainland FM.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome, Mr. Henry.
Yeah, good afternoon. Wow, how do you know my name?
Well, let's get it going, man.
Okay, my name is Henry, like you said. Actually, I want to confirm number of countries in the world. I think the number of countries in this world is about 200 plus, if I'm not mistaken. So, and how come Nigeria is one of the, I don't want to use derogatory statement because, it's kind of absurd to my hearing. How can a boy steal fowl and egg and is convicted to death? And we have a governor, a former governor to precise, who calls himself White Lion or White Cat or something, who stole money and is given a play bargain to pay peanut out of it. How come? What kind of country is this? Who did this to us? I'm disappointed in Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Henry. Well, you look at some of these justification side forward, and you can't help but laugh. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Midweek Politics.
I agree to the theory pillars.
You're welcome.
That make a building not to fall down.
Prince Wise.
Yeah, me, I want to go to the doorstep of Kemi. She's not a patriotic Nigeria. I want her to erase that name. Who know Kemi before?
She's not a Nigerian, Prince Wise. She's not a Nigerian.
We don't know her before.
She's not a Nigerian.
Yes. Kemi, you don't talk your own. Make her talk my own.
But I need to correct you now. She's not a Nigerian.
If the Labour Party is heading today, they are not a stable party. The prime minister they have today, next thing they may change it. Kemi, who know the leader of that party before? So Kemi was an opportunity to become a leader of his party and you run down your country. I want to praise that Lukman who become the African footballer of the year. Only the rest alone is a patriotic. The way he spoke is a patriotic. Both this man from also my state, what did they call it in itself?
Davido.
You make to the top. You are not running down your country. There's supposed to be a part of Nigeria. Kemi as a person, I love her, but you should remove that Kemi, Oluwa Kemi. Remove it.
Please
Nigeria.
Please rise.
Let him be Oyibo. We are not a slave.
Please rise. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't think I was
trying to tell him that the lady is not a Nigerian.
She's not.
So
she's not a Nigerian. She's
I
not.
want to bother myself with her.
Let's take this last call for the day. Then we'll read a couple of messages.
Mr. Okoyemi.
You're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good to have you join us.
Mr. Fuad, good afternoon. Thank you for giving me this privilege of being the last caller. You know, what I just want to say is that our problem is that we are too sentimental. Do you know that you can never love your country more than these people we are even speaking against? It's because of the love they have. I'm telling you, if you see two family members enter a room and they frown when they come out, they have told themselves the truth. Why do we behave like this? These are things that are happening. It's not as if she's disparaging, even if she doesn't say it. People have experiences that they narrate. They know what is going on in this country until we become sincere with ourselves. That's why we can be able to tackle what is on ground. That is what I want to round up with. Let us wake up and be sincere. God bless you, mainland.
And God bless you too. Thank you very much. The last call for the day, Victor. Can we get refreshed a bit and pick a couple of messages on Facebook?
Yeah, I'll do this very short one here. This one is saying that if subsidy was being enjoyed by few people and Nigerians were getting things cheaper, now that the subsidy is gone, why things now so costs? And that is coming from Glorious Crown. That's a very short one, and I think that's the shortest I can take.
Oluwafe also says, how can you rescue the kidnapped victim that was not even reported to security agencies according to that report? Okay, Fuad should try and be objective sometimes. Okay, we've come to the end of the show. Side Fuad, another massive Wednesday. I mean, we spent quite a lot of time talking about the Edo State drama, the suspension of the 18 local government chairmen and their vice, democratically elected chairman, by the way. But let's hope that normalcy will be restored in that state so that we don't have breakdown of law and order and then, anarchy, raising its ugly head in that state. Thank you very much for being a part of the production and compliment of the season again. Victor Achibong, it's been an amazing Wednesday.
Yes,
what a time to be alive. By the way, you look good. You came into the office today and I'm wondering.
I can send it though.
I mean, he's a big boy.
Sometimes you have to look the
biggest states now.
Is
Akwai a joke to you?
You can say that again.
Is Akwai a joke? Thank you so much.
But anyway, join me tomorrow. Voices from the street. Let's talk about how men these days are abandoning their families.
Interesting time.
They are jackpine.
They are not jackpine. They are abandoning them. If you say jackpine, it's like they don't come up for the country.
You don't have to leave the country. When they say trouble is coming, jackpine means run.
You know the.
So we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Thank you so much to everyone that have been a part of the production today. It's been Midweek Politics live on Milan 98.3 FM. Next up is Request Wednesday from J Dan, the good guy with the bad intentions, with his beautiful co-host BB, the biggest B and not the smallest B. And of course, they've got so much guests scattered across the next 1 hour to have conversation with you. My name is Okoyemi Akande. Thank you so much for the calls. Thank you for all of your messages and apologies for the ones we couldn't read. When we're back next week, Wednesday, it is going to be Merry Christmas. So we're going to be working on Christmas Day. I mean, for someone like Victor, Victor has happy home. So I'm sure he will bring food from home. Me, I'll be in the studio for Christmas. Thank you so much, everyone, once again. And keep your dialogue only on Milan 98.3 FM. Hey, don't go nowhere. And once again, compliment of the season. I'm just seeing the Confluence State today now, and I'm seeing the project of Usman Ododo. Let's see how it goes.